Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Exterior Magic. Still figuring out my formatting and all that stuff, but today we're looking at another Elder Dragon, and we're gonna look at Beledros the Witherbloom. Um, this guy screams out to not be budget. Almost all the cards that EDH Rec comes out with that they like encourage you to include, or like mana crypts, mana vaults. I know it's not that. It's a lot of really expensive mana producers like Nyx Bloom Ancient, and that just doesn't make the cut. It triples mana sources, which is great, but unless you've got a copy just hanging out, it's not exactly going to help us on our budget list. But anyway, let's dive into it. So what I did instead, let's look at Beledros. Oh, hold on. Let's look at Beledros. Where you at, buddy? Beledros the Ancient. Okay, so Beledros Witherbloom. Okay, so Beledros Witherbloom is a 4/4 flying for 7 mana. He's kind of expensive. And what he says is flying. At the beginning of each upkeep, so each player's upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. At the bottom here, he has a pay 10 life, untap all lands you control. You may activate this only once per turn. Really freaking cool ability. There's not a lot of abilities like that in the game. The problem is that it costs life. And hopefully his little duders that we're getting here should gain us some life. So I went with the tack of I want to pay X spells. I want big X mana spells that are impactful to the game. And so that we can say we ramp out 10 mana, and then now we have 10 lands in play. Now I can untap those lands and have a 20 mana in play, or 20 mana available, which is kind of good, kind of really good, having 20 mana available. So what can we do with 20 mana? Well, I went the budget route. We could be casting Eldrazi, and we just saw in one of my previous ones, the Hamza list, that you can just start casting Eldrazi for stupidly cheap. And I was going to use just the budget Eldrazi, but I decided to go more of the what the deck wants you to do, and they have included one of the first ones on the list is, let me see if I can find it, Exsanguinate. This is one of our more expensive spells in the deck. It's a $12 card. Hopefully you've got, or $12, $14 card. Hopefully you've got a copy. But Exsanguinate, double black and X. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to life lost this way. I love it when people just are. So anyway, that's the big spell. Okay, how do we get the big spell? Well, first of all, I have around 9 to 10 cards that have some kind of X casting cost that can do X things, like really big things. One of the cool ones that is a cheaper spell is Diabolic Revelation. So this card in and of itself is really not great. I mean, it's 6 mana to go and tutor 1 card. 7 mana for 2 cards, and 8 mana for 3 cards. 8 mana for 3 cards is pretty good, because if we have 8 lands in play, we cast this for 8 or whatever, and then we can untap our untap our lands with Beledros, and then go and cast some big stuff, right? And we might have 10 lands in play and float 2 mana, and then go get our stuff from the library, then bring out just some big nasty stuff. Now, one of the things that I did, so like for instance, like in this case, if I wanted to go and I wanted to ultra ramp, say I go and search 3 cards, okay? I've got 8 mana in play already. Well, I've got 8 mana. I untap it all, okay? So what I can do is I can go Diabolic Revelation, get 3 cards for 8 mana, untap all my stuff for 10 life, got another 8 mana available. What I can use with that 8 mana is 2 cards, Migration Path, searches your library for 2 basics, put it in the battlefield tapped. And then I can also play Fastwood Search. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them in the play tapped. So now I've just added 4 lands to my total land count. Now I had 1 more card that I could search up. So I went and got Exsanguinate, Fastwood Surge, and then Migration Path. So I've got 4 more lands. I've got Exsanguinate, and I did that all in one turn for 8 lands with my commander, right? And so now on my next turn, supposing I have a land drop and I've got now, what would that be? Um, let's see, that's 5 more mana. That's 13 lands total. 13 lands total on the next turn, right? That means I have 26 mana available to me on that turn. If I cast Exsanguinate for 26 mana, that means everybody at the table is going to lose 24 life, and I'm going to gain the life equal to the life lost that way. If there's 3 people at the table, that's 72 life that you're gaining. You might just kill one of them. Who knows? Certainly buys you a lot of time. Now, I have also included, so this is the basic gist of the deck. This is what the deck wants to do. So it does include a lot of token creation, like not Animus Awakening, sorry. The token, so Awakening Zone will create 1/1s that add mana to your mana pool. Another one that does the exact same thing is, where does it go? From Beyond. It's the 4 mana version, which will go and search or put a 1/1 do that you can sack for colorless mana into play. So you have a couple of those. Then another way we can gain life so that we can stay alive, because we're going to pay so much life to, activate Beledros. We got Leyline of Vitality. Helps us gain life whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control. We have got, let's see, with our creatures. Coming back down here to the creatures, we've got Essence Warden. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Death Greeter. When another creature is put into a graveyard, you gain 1 life, which is really good with what we're doing. Then Honor Troll is going to make every instance of life gain going to gain 1 more life. So every time a creature enters the battlefield with Essence Warden, we're going to gain 2. Anytime something dies, we're going to gain 2, which is really great. Another really big way of dumping our mana, because we're going to have so much of it, is like something like Hooded Hydra. And so this isn't the most powerful Hydra you can be casting, but it's certainly cool, because what you can do with this is now you can cast this dude and make him really, really big, and then board wipe, and now you have a bunch of 1/1s. Let's see. There's a lot of other stuff that is going to gain you life. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to ramp out mana. So we're trying to put lands into play. And another reason why we're doing that is because we've kind of got we don't want to put mana rocks into play. We don't want to put artifacts into play. We want to try and stay away from enchantments unless they are our win enchantments. And the reason why we do that is because another thing we have out here is, let me see if I can find it. Gaze of Granite. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. That can be hyper devastating to a lot of other people's games. So we're going to put lands into play, and our big commander is going to be a 7-drop, and we're going to get a bunch of 1/1 tokens throughout the going around the table. And so we can keep them clear of being able to do anything, not just no creatures, no artifacts, no enchantments, no whatever. So this is a really, really great auto include for us. Animus Awakening is another big spell. You're gonna cast this and then just reveal cards from top of your library. So we reveal all lands and you put them into play tapped. If you have two instants and or sorceries in the graveyard, you untap those lands. Whoa. Skull Clamp. This is one of the more expensive cards. I say get a copy of Skull Clamp for this format. It's just so good. Being able to take a Witherbloom token, pay 1 mana, and draw 2 cards is really, really doggone good. So with Beledros Witherbloom, it's just an auto include, in my opinion. Let's see. We're gonna draw some. So one of our big enchantments is nope. Evolutionary Leap lets us get to our impactful creatures, because we're sacrificing our tokens, and then we've also got Sanguine Bond. If you play with Sanguine Bond out, if you start gaining a bunch of life from creatures entering the battlefield or creatures dying or any reason at all, you're gonna just start killing people. Just good. And this is the budget half of the infinite combo with Exsanguinate. Exsanguinate being a $50 card, we're not gonna play it. So if you got a copy, great, throw it in here. No brainer. Let's see what else we got. So a bunch of these are entering the battlefield triggers and creatures entering the battlefield, creatures leaving the battlefield triggers. They're all really, really great. It's just not enough time in the day to really go over them. Like this one is going to put tokens into play. Um, your opponent's going to lose life. You're going to gain life. This is going to draw you cards whenever a creature died at the end of each turn. At the end of each turn, not just your turn. This one, whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. This is not a may. You have to draw that card. You have to gain that 1 life. So just be aware of that. So you might deck yourself if you have like 50 creatures in play and they all die, then you're just gonna deck out. So just be aware of that. It's an off chance, but it could happen. This one's kind of funny. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life. So if they attack you, they're gonna start losing life, and it's like, yeah, don't do that. Vampiric Rites is another way of drawing cards and sacking our creatures and gaining a little bit of life. It's just perfect for the deck. All right, let's see. We did have all the lands you can upgrade this mana base. This mana base is like the basic, like kind of the auto mana base that I go with these budget builds, is so that we can get the ball rolling. But there's no expensive lands here, and that's on purpose so that we can build a budget deck. If you have better lands to include, throw them in, man. Get after it. There was, I thought, one that was, this is a new land type that I really think is a cool land type for the budget community. These scry lands, they're really expensive. That's a really expensive scry. But if you don't have anything to do with your mana, making sure that the top card coming off your library is impactful is a big deal. So on the off chance that it is useful, this is good. Temple of Malady is also included, which will help you scry 1 time. Okay. All right, we're getting a little bit high. Also, I wanted to say, if you don't have your copies of Soul Ring, go get your copies of Soul Ring. Dregs of Sorrow. This one's just going to destroy a bunch of non-black creatures and just draw a bunch of cards. It's a great mana outlet. Okay. Take care of the board presence. Refill my hand. Nice to see you guys. How you doing? All right. Damnable Pact. Damnable Pact. Target player draws X cards and loses X life. You can kill somebody with it. Or you can just draw yourself a bunch of cards. Kind of like a multi-moded card. We also have Killing Wave, which I think is a lot of fun. For each creature, its controller sacrifices it unless he or she pays X life. That's a beautiful bunch of elves you've got out there. It'd be a shame if you had to pay life to keep any of them. Oh, they're indestructible. Doesn't matter. Sack. This one's really cool. I thought this was really great. Since we have so much mana, it says destroy up to X target artifacts and or enchantments. Create X, twice X, 1/1 black and green creature tokens. So if you pay 3, you destroy 1 artifact or enchantment, and you get 2 pests. If you pay 5, you destroy 2 artifacts or enchantments, and you get 4 pests. If you pay 7, you get 6 pests, and you destroy 3 artifacts or enchantments. It kind of fits with what we're doing here. It's a lot of removal, and it's just, it gets better the more you put into it. Profane Command, it's just a budget command. It's not great, but it'll do some good stuff. If you just go big on Profane Command, you can just kill somebody, and you can get some of your key creatures. The creatures aren't the real important part of the deck. They're here more to support the mana ramp and to Solemn Simulacrum. Just a good card to have in a lot of different decks. He also is a good sack outlet. You could use the dude's name. There is a 3-drop that whenever he dies, you can get 2 basic lands from your library and put them in your hand, and then you can sacrifice him, draw a card, and I forget his name. There's a guy out there that does that. He's just pure value. Let's see. All of these guys are just commons and uncommons, except for the Hooded Hydra, which is again a budget card. Grey Merchant Asphodel. We're not expecting to have a high devotion count, but he's impactful no matter what time he comes out. Let's see. And then this guy right here, Blossoming Bog Beast. So what's interesting about him is you can let him just sit out there. And then if you just, and say you have like 5 or 6 tokens, okay? Say you have 6 tokens, and then you go exsanguinate, and you do a big exsanguinate. Say you gain 40 life. Then, whenever he attacks, you gain 2 life. Then creatures you control gain trample and gain XX until end turn, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. If you gain 40 life in one turn, all your dudes get plus 40/40. Yeah, that's our alternate kill condition. Wrecked. It's beautiful. Love it. Anyway, guys, this has been my quick breakdown. I wasn't sure how to build this guy, but he seemed like a popular commander, and so I wanted to throw something together for you. And hopefully you enjoyed this. I went a little bit longer than the 10 minutes. I went 16 minutes because it was just getting too compact, too crammed. I was rushing too much. Hopefully you like this format. Hopefully that this length is okay. But I really, really enjoyed this format, and you guys do too. You guys have a great day. Bye.